Welcome to what will be the last part in this series where we've been playing Transport Fever 2. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this series to the end, well, there's several reasons actually. Probably the main reason is that if I go around the map and show you the industry, well, if I probably do it this way, it might be a bit better. If we actually look at the available industries, we've kind of expanded most of the industries. There's only a few like odd raw resources which we can't develop, and the reason for that is that uh, most of the industries, say for example this machine industry here, which needs lumber and steel, well, most of our current, say, lumber production is now working at near maximum capacity, or the maximum capacity it can be supported on. So to get this online, we would need, I mean, there's a lumber mill over here, but it's only got access to one forest, and I can't see any more. Then of course there's the question of steel, and I'm not sure if there's any more steel mills around. But probably the best way to check it would be to come up here and just click on it. So if we click on here and say suppliers, we've got London Sawmill, Immingham Steel. It looks like there might be a steel mill all the way down at Immingham. In fact, there's two steel mills down at Immingham. So if we go down to here, now the problem here is where would we get the iron? We got some coal here, and this is the problem, that when you get to this point in the game, if you can't get enough resources into here to get this at maximum, it's just going to be a little bit of a waste of time. Also, another problem is, say for example, if we go back up to Gainsborough here, say for example that we could bring this partially online, and this would supply the machines to Gainsborough, because Gainsborough does demand machines and it's not getting enough. The problem then is that in supplying the machines to Gainsborough here, what will happen is that could destabilize all these existing transport routes. So there won't be any long-term profit in that process. And of course, the main focus of this game is to run a transport company, not grow these cities. I know it's a great target to do it. And you can see here with Gainsborough, we got up to 1278, and it's still growing, mainly because we've improved the transport links. But there's not much we can do beyond this to actually improve the overall quality of the city. In fact, the only thing we can really do is something we will be looking at, is reducing emissions, which is something you can do in the late game using eco trucks. So that's the main reason why we're doing it. The second reason is that we are on 2036, and I don't think there's any new vehicles to come. I think we've reached the extent of the vehicles that are available in the vanilla game. So there's nothing else we can explore in the way of trains, which we've been doing over the last couple of parts, and our rail lines are running quite well. And then the third and final reason why I'm bringing this series to an end is that I do have the upcoming Workers and Resources Soviet Republic update, which is going to take away a lot of my time. So I'm trying to clear some time from the schedule. And I suppose there's also an ancillary reason, in the sense that I am considering doing a new series, but I'm not sure. I've got no idea yet of what I actually want to do. Anyway, so that's why the series is coming to an end. And what I want to do in this part is we're just going to have a little run through with our routes, just so that I can show you what our route, how the overall thing goes. I'll talk a little about the successes and failures. Now, aircraft has been an unexpected success, to be honest. I never realized that I could get that amount of income from aircraft and actually make a reasonable profit. The only problem I've got is that using the small airports, if I come to here, this is the large airport, this is the small one over here. The options for small aircraft is very limited. You can see here, basically we've just got one vehicle which can only carry 12 passengers. So to be able to make this airport even more efficient and carry more passengers, we'd have to expand it and put a large airport in. The trouble is where would you fit it in? I mean, this one, we got this one here, which we could turn into a passenger airport by adding some buildings, but I'm not sure what the benefit would be for that. I mean, we could run over to there, but at the moment the rail system is working pretty effectively after that high-speed line I put in, and I'm really surprised with that. So air transport was one unexpected success. Our shipping lines, our cargo shipping lines are working quite well, but you can see here this passenger line that I put in the last part is, well, to be honest, it's a dismal failure. And I think this is one of the problems. Ship passenger lines work well in the early game when you're using these very cheap paddle steamers, but to be honest, it doesn't really work in there. I mean, we're not carrying large numbers of passengers, mainly because I think the ships are slower than the trains. I think and I think this is something you do need to bear in mind, is that if the passengers will always take the fastest route. So, because in fact we got a high-speed train from Cleaton through to Nuneaton that can get down to Immingham, or they've got other options. I don't think there's a great rush of people that really want to use the shipping line. Here's the shipping line coming in. Let's see here. Got a whole 6 passengers on board. And this is, bear in mind, this is a pretty fast ferry. And we picked up 9. I don't think that line will ever make any money. Now, moving on to rail lines. You can see here, virtually all my rail lines are profitable. Even some of the really old ones down here, like Ongar coal delivery. You see occasionally trains will drop down into the negative. That's because their profit margin is marginal. And that's a good warning sign of a line that cannot be upgraded. Because, again, well, I'll just show you the Ongar line here. This is just an example of just using a cheap old train that's pretty clapped out. You can see here, the one we got here, click on that. You see we've got 2 trains here. They're the BR53 Pressus G3s. I think the top speed is only, I can't remember what the top speed is. I think it's only about 60 kilometers an hour. Probably won't even reach that. 40, I think that's it. 40 kilometers. Yeah, that's it. 40 kilometers an hour tops. But it does the job, and I think this is a good example that when you're running a route like this, which is just backwards and forwards, it's very difficult to justify actually upgrading it, because if you put a new train on this, it would immediately lose money, because basically all you're doing is just shipping coal backwards and forwards one way to the steel mill. And that also applies to, if we come over to Nuneaton, which is over here, when I put this line together here, this is the marginal line that we were looking at, this one here, Nuneaton passengers and goods. And again, I think what we've got running through here is quite an old trains, or several trains, I think. Let's see, Nuneaton passengers and goods. Yeah, we've got 3 trains running backwards and forwards up here. Now, we could possibly modernize this, but again, the big problem here is the demand is quite low. You can see that we're not really carrying, if we click onto this. So we got some passengers moving up and down the line, picking up tools, delivering it to Spalding. We got the down line here, which is also picking up tools and passengers to Immingham. Also got food on there as well. I think that's because Immingham now needs food as well. Now, as I say, you could argue that this line could be upgraded, but the amounts of goods being moved backwards and forwards on this line is so small there. So you see, Immingham's only got a population of 390. It's struggling. I can't see this growing much more because it's a bit isolated. It's only on the end of the rail line. The passenger to aircraft system has delivered passengers, but the shipping here has done very little for Immingham's boost. I mean, it's taken it to 160. So again, it's an example of that in when you play this game, some towns you can never grow them, and I mean, unless of course you can find a really large, useful industry nearby that could actually help. So train wise, yes, we've done quite well. Trams are often you can't make profit on them because the very nature of what trams are is that they're moving people around towns. So for example, there we've got 2 tram lines in Immingham, but they're not making any money. I mean, probably if we do a quick search here. So Ongar tram line up here is probably, yeah, so we got a tram line in here. Where's it? We've got a tram line running around here. Yeah, see, it's only kind of running around the inside of Ongar. It's not making any money. So tram lines, you've got to kind of expect that they won't make any money. Quite a big group of people there. 46. I mean, we could possibly make more money by actually... diner on the corner here. And we got this is a bus route as well running through. We could possibly do something a little bit to try and improve the situation here. Again, here you can see the big limiting factor is fuel. So Onaga won't grow because fuel is a primary demand for Ongar, in the sense that it needs 180 fuel. But of course, the problem we got is they've only got 1 fuel factory, which is over here. And this is not quite 100%, probably because we're not pulling in enough. Yeah, we probably got a limitation on the oil delivery here. This probably could do with an upgrade on the line here, because you can see we've got fuel sat here, which probably means that, yeah, we're not transporting enough, probably because the trains are a bit out of date, and really this line could do a little bit of reworking, but the benefit is marginal, which would need to be balanced against the risk of not actually making any money, because, you know, as you can see here again, we're running very old trains now. But if we replace this with a new train, that could actually send this line into loss, simply because, well, if I show you, where's we have a, oh, well, we come over to here. One of the big factors is that with trains and all that coming to here is the sheer cost of running them. So like electric trains here, you've got to make 4.5 million a year, and that is no way that line, I mean, you could just see what the profit on that line is. See what the actual profit is. I mean, it's even with these trains, the profit is only 3 million. But if you were to upgrade these trains, you wouldn't increase the shipment and productivity that much. So that would probably send this line into loss. And that's something you do need to be aware of. Anyway, so I've kind of digressed a long way. We've got routes here. What we got here? We've got Gainsborough. So again, truck-wise, truck routes break down into kind of 2 things. That is that you've got the, I mean, now as you can see, so and what we'll do now is just take a look at trucks. And what we'll do now is just take a look at trucks. Come back here, come to trucks. What you can see here is that most of the truck lines are making a profit, and bus lines as well. I think there's a bus line in there as well, isn't there? But at the same time, that there are some of these routes where there is no money being made, and that's simply down to the fact that you're delivering. So, I mean, we got Gainsborough goods delivery, which is over here, which is, I think, this line here. And you can see the reason why they're losing money is we got a queue here. because what we got here is some eco trucks. But what we could do is sell off some of these. I mean, this is part of the fine tuning in the game. The reason I'm selling them this way is so that we do it. Is that these trucks are empty, so we're not losing any goods. So if I drop it down to here, maybe we'll take out one more here. So we've now got down to 7 vehicles. But of course, we need to leave the capacity here for these vehicles pick up there. So he's waiting for goods. We might be able to improve the line a little bit. Pick up point here. Maximum stop time. Bring this down to 20 seconds. And the reason I brought that down is the fact you've got a composite route here. This route is carrying, well, it's delivering, that one's delivering there, but this is delivering goods and machines. So what's happening is that these are blocking a little bit. But of course, what we get is that when these ships come in, we got this ship coming in here. We'll just see if he's this. So you get this sporadic. This is the thing about ships, that you get this sporadic delivery. But hopefully that might eventually, when these guys are moving around, they should actually deliver and be a bit more effective in delivery. And this is an example where pure line mathematics can break down. If we come in here, it says that, well, the delivery rate's 237. We got, so these guys will snatch what they've got, and then they will deliver that immediately. So we could possibly reduce that line down, make it a bit, so it can make a bit more money. Machines and goods. Technically, we do need 230 on that line, but we could probably take off another one. So he's got 13. Yeah, I think we can run with that. So hopefully that might make Gainsborough income a little bit more profitable. In fact, you can see straight away now it's dropped down into profit. So this is the type of thing you can do to try and improve your efficiencies. And the next one is Immingham coal delivery. So if we come over to here, here again we've got vehicles queuing. What's the output from here? This is maximum. So we probably don't need all these trucks, so we can start selling off these. Just trim out some of these as well. So that we get it, because it's the vehicles that are standing around doing nothing that are actually costing money. Where's this one coming in? Yep. We can trim you back. Oh yeah, we're down to 12 vehicles now, and the delivery on this now is 294. Now the output of this coal mine is actually 400, but, and I say this is where the line mathematics can break down a little bit. Thank you, game. Can you do the auto save? So we could possibly even go down lower than that, because there's another one coming back already. So what we can do is sell off another one. And we'll hit this route. So it looks like this route is now going into profit. I mean, it will take a little while for this one. Where is it? think it's this one as well. Is that's strangely, this one is actually making money, but the reason for that is these are very old trucks and therefore they're cheap to run. And I think that's a good example that cheap trucks you can afford to let queue up because they don't have that much in the way of an operating cost. Expensive trucks, you can't afford to allow them to sit around doing nothing. So where's the Immingham? I think I've got the wrong route, haven't I? Onga in Immingham Coal. And the game is playing. So we've got a big pile of trucks here doing nothing. So what we're going to do is pare these back a little bit as well. Gonna keep bring you down a bit. Take the profit margin out, or improve the profit margin. And tell you like this. What are we down to now? 280. Now this has got a fairly long route. I could probably take out you as well. How are you doing here? Yep. How's the route now? I'm losing 41,000 now. Let's go back now. So we've trimmed out that one. Goods delivery. I think Aerith goods delivery is a little bit more trickier. Because it's, where is it? I think it's this line here, isn't it? You're making money. Yes, Aerith goods. Only delivering 58. And of course he's going right round the hedges here with these trucks here. What we could probably do is, for some reason these guys are going around there. 125,000. So what is the demand for goods in Aerith? This is a very long route. Aerith wants 18, so we could probably save some money by coming in here. Aerith goes up that way. What we could do is come here. Of course, there's a risk with this in the sense that you can, how can you say, is increase your infrastructure costs. What we'll do is goods delivery there. Manage the vehicle. I don't understand. These guys aren't. And set you to wait until fully loaded. Because these guys are just running backwards and forwards doing nothing. So yeah, this guy's waiting. What's this route here? That one. This is Cleaton Moor. This one's making a pile of money. Haha. So we might be able to kind of speed that up now. So we got a second truck waiting here. I think we're, how are you? I think this is an example of a route that's probably never going to make money, simply because it's just running backwards and forwards, doing nothing in particular. So, got Onga food delivery now. That's losing money. That's the food line there. Now, as far as I know, the Onga pickup point is here. We got Onga food delivery. So it's delivering 293. What's the now this is a composite, so we've got to be a bit careful. I think this is one is definitely going to have to be a loss leader, because it's you're carrying 17 food. We could probably use more trucks here. This one here looks a bit suspect. This is Cleaton Moore delivery. It's 104, and it's delivering just machines. It requires 91. What does Cleaton Moore? Needs 250 odd. Now we could upgrade this line. In fact, this is a good example of what we can do. We got this line here, Cleaton Moore managed vehicles. Now what we can do here is actually turn this to our advantage, because if we come here and offer you, select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, come in here. If we go to cargoes, what we can do is go to an eco truck. Now eco trucks have well, capacity of 20. So if we replace you, then we can. Now the advantage of using the eco trucks is the fact that we can actually reduce pollution this way. So if we do this and sort of you down, pick off 2, and then maybe we'll just upgrade you. Replace and what these eco trucks will do is come in there. So these are delivering 207 machines, and what we got here 251. We suppose we could put an extra truck on, but I think these guys are working okay. I mean, eventually they will clear the backlog, and of course with the eco trucks, what that will do is actually reduce the emissions in Cleaton Moore. So if we come here, show you the emissions, what should happen is eventually, because the eco trucks are coming in, this should improve. And of course we could use maintenance to make it even better, but that, oops, nope, don't want that. This might, yeah, I mean, we've got a little bit more growth. It says here target population 224 plus 320%. That's pretty good. Actually, if we click here, come to emissions, you'll see that these guys are not really having that much effect on the actual pollution in this area. And of course, another thing we can do is, I don't know what level trams we're using. Oh, I think we're already using eco trams in here. I think these are the best types of trams. We come to here, tram vehicles. This is emissions of 68, 68, 66. The problem with these trams is the capacity. So somewhere, even like Cleaton Moore, these trams were, while they got lower emissions, one, that they're more expensive to run compared to this one. So unless you've got a very large population, it's not going to work. So again, this is the balance that you do need to make. So we've got that line there. I think come back to here. So we kind of knocking these out. tool delivery. What we got here? Go to see what's going on with tool delivery. That would be coming from where it would be coming from here. Yep, you can see again we've got a whole pile of trucks here waiting. This is tool delivery. Okay, again, part of the reason for this is the fact that the delivery process is sporadic. But what we will do is purge out some of these trucks here. Another one. Again, this is where line mathematics kind of drops down because it's 178. It delivers tools and goods. Now, has technically loads and loads. I mean, it needs to. If you do the pure line mathematics, this comes out at 300, nearly 385. But the actual delivery route from here is still kind of log jammed with a delivery of 178. So what we can do is just keep pairing this out a bit. Yeah, again, I think we've got a bit of a problem here with line blockage. See what the... Oops. Yeah, I think we're down 10 seconds. Maybe take out a couple more. I mean, there's a fairly regular delivery coming in here, so hopefully that might turn this route around a little bit. Yeah, it's starting to make a profit. Blandford local buses. You can see how the process actually works now. Birkenhead to Erith Materials is losing money, but what you can do is eventually weed out these lines here. The bus lines, well, they're never really going to make a massive profit. Now, one thing I did notice was that we've got seems to have some fairly old-fashioned trams going in there. They look almost like steam trains in so let me just see if we can do something about that. It looks very much like we've got a here. Let's have a look at the pollution. Very poor, yeah. And it looks like our tram routes haven't been electrified. So what we'll do here, come there, electric. We're kind of tempted to, maybe we can move that. This isn't actually electric, is it? Now we're going to have to be careful here because we don't want to break these connections to the train station. So we'll have to leave that. In fact, I'm a bit tempted to actually put in a proper tram station here. Now again, we're going to have to be very careful that we actually don't break the... I think if we put it there, make sure that is still connected. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's almost like we've got a one-way route here. Happened here. Line. Okay, so what it's done is it's automatically moved everybody to Kingsway. Okay, I'll take that, and that means we can. Okay, we're gonna need to be a little bit circumspect. I think we'll just leave those there because we may lose that connection there. So we've now got this line here. This has been electrified. Back to streets. That's done. We're going to get that in. And we're just going to electrify this through. Put this in as a road. This in here. Comes there. Comes to there. I don't think we need to actually expand the route out. We just need to kind of put you in there. Is that electrified? You there. Through to there. To there. There. And work you into. That's been electrified. Let the game run. And then got these very old trams here. Boom trams. Okay, manage vehicles. We got 9 vehicles. Probably don't need 9 because the capacity is very low. So what we'll do is we'll come here. Oops, don't want that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll start with 7. And these have got 25 passengers. These are fast, but at the same time, we don't need speed inside the town. And what we'll do is just get rid of you and get rid of the bottom 2. I think this is sharing one terminal. Not good. Oops. Terminals. 2. Got to work. Come here. Manage vehicles. This is just all of them. So convert you these. What that should do is clear this backlog here, and this will start making money. But more importantly, what that should do is now reduce the emissions in I, because we're now using more modern trams. And what that should do is, still says very poor, probably because we're bringing in trucks which are still using trucks in the area which aren't very efficiency. But you can see at the pop now that our target population is 1290, and that's there, so that there is potential for growth now. Got some dirty little trucks here, iFuel. Got 12 vehicles here. Right, let's have a look at this route here. Some fuel here. What's the demand for fuel in I? Yeah, it's 254. The problem we've got here is the fact that our fuel factory is overloaded. But what we can do is come in here. Got 12 vehicles. Now we could go to all cargo and use the eco trucks, which I think I might do, but we'll do is we'll reduce the number of trucks as well. We'll replace you with eco trucks. It's 367. So we can sell you. That brings it down to 297. Which, if we look at the line, oops, that which is probably too much now. Here's the line. You need to wait until fully loaded, and we'll reduce you to 90 seconds because your rate is 340, and when there's no way we're going to need that amount in here. Demand 256. So I know I've spent too much money, but just you. Let game run. On you, tell you. I get a feeling that the trains aren't bringing in the fuel they used to. Let's have a look here. Yeah, we're eyes being starved of fuel. Oh well, that's the way it goes. But what we will do is make some money here. Right, we're slowly whittling down. Which route are you? Anyway, time is pushing on, and I don't want this video to be too long. And as I could carry on doing this route fixing for a long time. As I say, we've got all sorts of ways that we can make money. We've got all these different bus routes. We can keep trimming these down, making them a little bit more efficient. And of course, looking through here, we can see which lines have got bad vehicles on that may need upgrading. I mean, we are making a massive profit, and something I've probably never shown you on the map here is if we come to here, you can see that we've maintained a fairly, if we go 50 years, you can see we've had a, you can see here we've had a few bad years when we've made no money. The balance has always been rock solid. We've actually got, it's sort of been progressively up all the way since 1850. You can see our town growth has stayed relatively consistent. This is what you want. It says populations, jobs, shopping facilities. They've all stayed in line. If you get a major divergence from this line, it means that your towns aren't balanced. So that is a very good sign. HQ. Actually, we haven't looked at HQ. Where did I build it? Oh, I built it in, I think it was in London, wasn't it? Where's London? I think I built it in London. Must admit, I don't really pay that much attention to HQ. There's our HQ there. Yep. So we kind of got our tower block in the middle of the industrial area. And of course, what happens is that the HQ levels up according to how much money you're making. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video and the series. If you want to see more Transport Fever 2, feel free to chuck it in the comments. I probably won't do a series for a little while, because especially over the next couple of months, simply because the focus is going to be very much on Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. But I think if I do another series, what I'll do is I'll go back to 6 demands on a large map using the mod for various goods instead of just being locked to the standard in-game goods, because I think it makes the map a lot more challenging, a lot more interesting. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.